Part 1. The Woman in the Shadows. Lavish mansion. Morning. The grand hallway echoed with silence. Golden chandeliers shimmered above polished marble floors. In the corner, unnoticed by most, moved a woman whose presence was quiet yet powerful. Maya, the maid. She swept, wiped, and folded like she was invisible. To her, this wasn't just a job. It was survival. For her younger brother's schooling, for her sick mother waiting in a tiny rented room downtown. She had learned to smile even when her stomach growled with hunger. She had learned to disappear, even in plain sight. Until one morning someone noticed her. Enter Adrian Roy, the billionaire heir. Tall, sharp-featured, detached from the world, the kind of man who had seen too many fake smiles, too many people with hidden agendas. He rarely spoke to staff, but that day he paused mid-staircase and watched Maya struggle to carry a heavy laundry basket. There was something about her, not her looks, not her clothes, but the way she carried her pain like dignity, the way her eyes were tired, but never bitter. "What's your name?" His voice startled her. She looked up, unsure if she was even allowed to answer. "Maya, sir." He nodded, then walked away. But something had shifted. Part 2. Why would he even care? Scene: mansion kitchen, afternoon. Maya couldn't shake the strange encounter. Why did he, of all people, ask her name? In a house full of polished people in suits and perfumes, Maya knew her place. The girl who cleaned dishes, not dreams. The girl who wore rubber gloves, not silk dresses. So she buried the moment, until it happened again. Scene garden 2 days later. Adrian stood on the balcony sipping his morning espresso. Down below, Maya was kneeling in the garden, tending to the wilted roses. She was humming, a tune that reminded him of something from a time before the suits and boardrooms, before his heart had walls. She didn't see him watching, but she felt it, that unfamiliar gaze, not of judgment, but of curiosity. Scene: dining hall, night. Adrian sat with business partners, laughing half-heartedly as Maya quietly refilled their glasses. As she leaned over, one of the guests muttered something under his breath, cruel, demeaning. Adrian's laughter stopped. His face went cold. He stared at the man. Then, unexpectedly, looked at Maya and said, "You don't speak to people like that, especially not her." Silence filled the room. Maya's hands trembled. No one had ever defended her before, especially not him. She looked up, for the first time, and met his eyes. Something unspoken passed between them. And for the first time, Maya wondered, why would a man like him ever care about a girl like me? Part 3. 2 worlds. One moment. Scene: mansion library, evening rainfall. The storm outside matched the turbulence inside her heart. Maya had stayed late to finish the dusting. She always avoided the library. It was his space, a world of leather chairs, expensive whiskey, and secrets bound in gold-rimmed books. But tonight, she was alone. Or so she thought. "You read?" His voice made her jump. Adrian was standing by the fireplace, watching her hold a worn copy of Les Miserables. I can't take it," she stammered. He smiled gently. "You can. Keep it, if you'd like." No one had ever given her anything before, especially not something so meaningful. She clutched the book to her chest. "Why are you being kind to me?" she whispered, not meeting his eyes. He walked closer, slowly. "Because you remind me of someone I lost, someone I should have fought harder for." Silence. Only the crackling fire between them. In that moment, they weren't billionaire and maid. They were two broken souls carrying weight in silence. Two people who had learned to bury pain beneath routine. Scene, Maya's home, late night. That night, Maya lay awake, her hands resting on the book, her heart confused. She couldn't afford to dream, but a seed had been planted. A dangerous one. Hope. Part 4. The Portrait in the Attic. Scene, mansion, rainy afternoon. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Adrian had left for a business trip overseas. The staff moved slower without his presence. But Maya, she moved with a restless mind. Something about his eyes lingered with her. The sadness. The softness behind the sharp jaw and expensive suits. That day, she was asked to clean the old attic. No one went up there. Cobwebs draped over forgotten furniture like ghostly curtains. Dust clung to history. And then, she saw it. A portrait, framed in gold, hidden beneath a white cloth. She pulled it off and gasped. It was a woman, young, beautiful, humble-looking. She wore a simple dress not unlike Maya's, but it wasn't the dress that struck her. It was her eyes. Kind, deep, tired, just like Maya's. Scene flashback, Adrian's voiceover. She reminded me of someone I lost. Suddenly it made sense. Adrian once loved a woman like her. Maya's fingers trembled as she traced the outline of the woman's face. There was a name on the back of the portrait, Lena, and beneath it, she taught me how to love, and I lost her before I could say it back. Scene, Maya's room, night. Maya sat by the window, the city lights flickering far below. Was she just a shadow of someone Adrian once loved? Was she being seen or remembered? Am I a person in his present, or just a ghost from his past? Her heart wanted to believe he saw her, but doubt was louder than hope tonight. Part 5. Am I her shadow, or your future? Scene, mansion, Adrian returns, late evening. The luxury car pulled into the driveway. Adrian stepped out, exhausted, but his eyes scanned the porch. For her, Maya, she wasn't there, not like before. Scene, kitchen, silence. He walked in. She was drying dishes, her movements stiff. She didn't smile. He noticed instantly. "Everything okay?" he asked softly. She paused, then with quiet courage turned around. I saw her. His eyes locked with hers. The portrait in the attic. Adrian froze. For the first time, his confidence cracked. "You loved her," Maya said. "She looked like me." He didn't deny it. "I did. Lena was everything. She believed in me before I had anything. And I let her go. Chose ambition over her." A long silence. Maya's voice trembled. "Then what am I? A second chance? A reminder?" He stepped forward slowly. "No. You're the reality I never thought I deserved again." She blinked back tears. "But I'm a maid. I clean your floors, serve your guests, and live in a room smaller than your closet." "You're more than that," he said, his voice breaking. "You listen without pretending. You see without judging. You brought warmth back into a house that felt like a graveyard." Maya's walls started to shake, but she had lived too long behind them. "I need time," she whispered. "I'll wait," he replied. Seen Maya's tiny apartment late night. She stared at her reflection. No makeup, no fancy clothes, just a woman trying to make it. And yet, someone had seen something in her. Not for what she had, but for who she was becoming. And maybe, just maybe, she deserved to be more than a memory shadow. Part 6. The letter she left behind. Scene mansion 2 weeks later. Adrian hadn't seen Maya since that night. He waited. Every morning, every evening, hoping to hear her footsteps, her humming in the garden, her quiet presence in the kitchen. But there was only silence. Until one morning a small envelope was found on his desk, his name written in her handwriting. He opened it, hands shaking. Maya's letter. Adrian, before I met you, I believed life would never notice me, that I was meant to pass through the world like a shadow, quiet, invisible, unimportant, but you saw me, and for the first time, I saw myself. But I can't love you with questions still inside me. Am I being chosen or replaced? I need to know who I am, on my own, not as Lena's reflection, not as your redemption, but as Maya, the woman I'm becoming. So I'm leaving, not to run away, but to grow. If one day we meet again, and I am no longer afraid of being seen, then maybe we'll write a story that's truly ours. M. double quote. Scene. Adrian's eyes, close up. A single tear falls. He whispers, "Don't just be my past, be my future." Scene. Train station, far away. Maya boards a train with nothing but a suitcase, a journal, and the hope of becoming more than someone else's memory. She doesn't know where the road leads, but for the first time, it feels like hers. Part 7. The Woman on the Stage. Scene. 1 year later, downtown charity gala, New York City. Adrian stood quietly at the back of the grand ballroom. He hated events like this. Shallow smiles, loud suits, empty praise. But tonight was different. The event was in honor of a new foundation helping underprivileged girls pursue education and independence. The guest speaker, he hadn't caught the name, until the curtains parted, and there she was, Maya, dressed simply, yet elegantly, poised, confident, glowing. He couldn't breathe. Seen Maya on stage, soft spotlight. She spoke calmly, her voice echoing through the hearts in the room. "A year ago, I was cleaning homes to survive. I thought value came from what you owned, or who noticed you. But sometimes, walking away is the greatest gift you give yourself. I left behind comfort and found my courage." This foundation is for every girl who has been told she's just a maid, or just anything. You are never just something. You are a story still being written. Tears welled in Adrian's eyes. This wasn't the girl who left with trembling hands. This was a woman reborn, not as someone's shadow, but as her own light. Seen, after the gala, backstage, she spotted him. Their eyes met, so much unsaid, and yet no words were needed. He walked toward her, slowly, not as a millionaire, not as a man with regrets, but as someone ready to finally love her right. "Adrian, you've become everything I always knew you were," Maya, softly. "And you waited. Thank you." They didn't rush into an embrace. They just stood there, two hearts, fully seen. This wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a new story. One built not on wealth, but on worth. Part 8. The Bench by the Garden. Scene, 1 year later, quiet garden behind the foundation building. There was a small wooden bench beneath a tree blooming with white flowers. Adrian sat alone reading a letter. Not from Maya, but from Lena, the woman he once lost. He had found it tucked behind that old attic portrait months ago. Lena's handwritten letter. "Adrian, if you're reading this, I'm probably already gone. I don't want you to live in guilt. I want you to love again. But not with someone who looks like me. Love someone who reminds you how to feel again. Someone who brings back your laughter, not your pain. And when you meet her, let her be free. Don't hold her to my memory. Let her become your future. That's how you honor me.